Welcome to the afternoon desk. Today I'm reacting to Pumps and Jen with I've Had It, IHIP news broadcast. They are talking about culture today, and they open with Andrew's detention, and they're right to react because what makes this land isn't just the headline, it's the posture. For years, certain circles operated with the assumption of insulation: corporate, royal, political. Different titles, same tone. So let's see what they have to say. See if you notice anything about Pumps and I.
That some people, some governments, some places have found that pedophilia and child rape is a problem, it's unacceptable, and people will be held to account. Kylie, pop this up. Britain's Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. And Congresswoman Ansari says this is the way. If you raped or abused children, you should be prosecuted and held fully accountable. And it's pretty devastating to live in a country that right now is cultivating and accepting a culture that is permissive of child abuse, of treating children in this manner. The fact that Howard Lutnick still has a job, the fact that Pam Bondi has seen videos of children being raped and sexually assaulted and that she still has a job is just appalling. But then again, I always go back to, we can't start the outrage here. You have to start the outrage with the American culture that saw how horribly Donald Trump governed, that he refused to pack his toys up like a big boy and leave the White House. And instead, he riled up a bunch of rubes that were funded by really wealthy elite people that manipulated these rednecks to go storm the Capitol. And the rednecks are the only ones that faced justice, just like the elites in the Epstein case. If you're rich in America, it doesn't matter who's at the DOJ, they're going to let you off. This is everything that when you're born and raised as an American, that you are taught that we aren't. And to find out that we've been doing this and that this Epstein stuff, Virginia Giuffre, is now finally being heard. She said that this happened to her a long time ago. It's just really devastating. But the good news is I believe that there is a great American awakening happening right now in the face of Donald Trump's depravity, double dealing, corrupt business, lining his own pockets, lining his son's Dumb and Dumber's pockets. There is a great awakening that we have a very broken system. We love our country, and it is a great country. And those of us that care about moral decency, that care about little kids, that care about working class people, not having the system so rigged against them, and then have a bunch of billionaires and crusty old white people browbeat them and tell them they're lazy. There's a great awakening that we need to fix this. And the Democrats must return to an era of FDR style politics and get back to their roots and get rid of, once and for all, Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer have got to go.
I completely agree with you. And I look at this situation where every other country is launching investigations. We've had an arrest in the UK of a member of the royal family. And you look at not just the Trump Justice Department, but this has been going on. 2008 was the first time the federal government prosecuted Jeffrey Epstein. And there have been several administrations. Obviously, this administration is by far the worst. But the fact that the elites that were involved in this and all this evidence was available and no one has been prosecuted, it really shines a light on how the justice system, if you're rich and white, you have an advantage, full stop. I mean, you can't defend it.
All right, and then moving along.
I just want to say it's not only if you're rich and white. It's if you're rich, period. If you're rich and Jay-Z, if you're rich and Beyonce, if you're rich and Oprah, if you're rich and anybody in this country, the dollar will not discriminate against you. It will save your life. Do whatever the fuck you want and act in total immunity. If you're not rich, join ICE. Then you also get total immunity. Excuse me, Pomps. I'm so sorry. And I did not mean to steal your look, but we are looking well today. All right, I want to hear a little bit more. I just want to add, I have a little piece that I co-wrote with, a couple of different tools, but this is important to talk about. We're on a cultural revolution here. And the commerce is children, our morals, the way our grandkids will be raised, the way our children are currently being raised. How must they feel? Powerless, probably, like so many Americans. How embarrassing for our country. Wow.
The amount of people that have bent the knee to Trump in this idea that he just loves America because he dry humped the flag and he's just a real man and he's just so relatable. I'm just overwhelmed by how gay he acts all the time. And y'all may remember that little tidbit in the Epstein files where it was like Trump was blowing Bubba, right? The Democrats didn't bite on it. They should be browbeating that nonstop. Of course they didn't. Of course it's petty, but that's what you have to do to beat these guys, right? So I told Pumps and I told you all, we're a few news cycles away from him revealing that he, is also attracted to men. And he does this quite a bit. Like at his rallies, he's like, this is a good looking guy. Or he's talking about, Arnold Palmer's cock and how big it is. And he goes on and just really gay detail about it. Here he is starting to act gay. And then he corrects himself. Play the clip.
But I was very proud of it. President Pena of Paraguay is here. President, thank you very much. Young, handsome guy. It's always nice to be young and handsome. Doesn't mean we have to like you. I don't like young, handsome men. Women, I like. Men know how to have any interest. Good, that's right.
That's just to me like such a reveal. Like if a woman stood up and she was young and attractive, I bet, God, what a young, beautiful woman she is. Right. I wouldn't feel like I needed to establish, by the way, I'm not a leslie. I would, especially when I'm at my Board of Peace inaugural meeting, I wouldn't think, especially as an 80-year-old, that you would need to further substantiate that you're only attracted to one gender. And he is continuing to do this. And the fact that he is like everybody's alpha male and their whole thing in the comment question is like, you're gay, you're trans. These people are so obsessed with it. And this old queen is out there just constantly in his demented state. He thinks men are attractive. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't give a shit. What bothers me about it is all of these alpha male, I'm going to drive my Ford F-150 with my Trump flag on it, my Trump nuts on it, because I think he's a badass alpha male. It's just such bullshit. He wears a full face of makeup. Well, Fox News has been completely consumed. They're consumed with trans people, gay people. Now they're onto something new, bisexuals. And this guy at Fox News, I can't remember his name. It's just some dipshit at Fox News. Pop up this video, Kylie.
I know you pointed this out as well, though. Did you know this, Link? We've talked about it. Sex among young people is on the decline. Young people are not having sex, and yet they're calling themselves bisexual. I really have a hard time adding those things together.
So
young people aren't having sex. Young people aren't having relationships. Let's start there. Bigger than everything else, what big tech has done to us in the last 10 years, really the last 10 years, has divided us, has made everyone in their little incubated worlds. The kids don't even get a chance to form relationships and grow in bonded intimacy. So yeah, of course they're like, sure, whatever, because like Jen said, you can be attracted to, you can think someone's beautiful. It doesn't have, just the human form itself. It doesn't really lend itself to any sort of sexuality or gender identity or anything else. It's just that. But let me get back to this part again, because it's not just the scandal. It's the posture. I want to just stick to the cultural posture piece. The assumption of insulation, often sustained by a mix of corporate contracts and tax dollars, paired with the belief that accountability is negotiable. And that belief shows up everywhere. Yesterday or the day before, Palantir's Karp, co-founder Mr. Karp, told a joke on stage about using drones to spray critics with urine and fentanyl. Even as a joke, that tone tells you something. Not about innovation, clearly, but about insulation. Insulation breeds a certain kind of humor. The kind that assumes there are no consequences. The kind that forgets who funds the castle and who pays to fill the moat. Whether it's a royal navigating investigation or a corporate executive speaking casually about weaponized tools, the through line is the same. Power is most dangerous when it forgets humility, and insulation only works until scrutiny catches up. Something is shifting culturally. The insulation that once felt automatic now looks exposed. That's worth paying attention to. Accountability isn't partisan. It isn't royal. It isn't corporate. It's structural. And when insulation is sustained by a mix of corporate and tax dollars, accountability isn't optional. It's inevitable. Have a great afternoon, good evening, good morning. This is Susan at the afternoon desk. Thanks, guys. I'm so sorry for the glare. I'm going to fix all of these little things eventually. Have a good one. Bye.